Hi everyone, it's Friday and time for a thought for this week. Hope everyone had a great week. Everyone seems to be a little bit more upbeat, being able to do lots of things we weren't able to do before. And we at BINA, of course, are really happy to be back in shul and also be back in some of the shiurim. And for those that are not comfortable, we still have them on Zoom. So this week, they've started rolling out the booster shot. This is something that in other countries, particularly Israel, is very widespread. And they're starting it here in Australia as well. Now, of course, I'm not one to comment on any medical aspects of this, but I always like to try and learn a lesson from things that are happening. As the Baal Shem Tov taught us, that everything that happens can be a source of a great lesson. And I was thinking to myself, this concept of a booster shot, we were always thought that there's going to be a vaccine, you take your 2 doses and that's it, and then you kind of protected, hopefully, from the virus. But no, apparently it runs out and you have to take a booster shot, or at least some people do, and so on and so forth. And the lesson, of course, is a simple but very, very important one. Because the same thing is exactly true in spiritual inspiration. Someone once told me, someone who I hadn't seen for a long time at some of the lectures or some of the programs, and I asked that person, I met them and I said, "How are you? I haven't seen you for a long time." And the person said to me, Rabbi, I came for a reason. I needed to improve on some aspect. I've learned what I need to learn, and I'm done. Now, of course, that's a fundamental mistake. It doesn't work like that. You don't eat last week and say, well, I've eaten, now I'm good for a couple of weeks. No, one has to eat every day. One has to exercise every day. The same thing is true with inspiration. Sometimes you go through a time where we amazingly inspired, but the inspiration after a while wears off, and it's time for a booster. This time of the year is very much like that. We had a month this year a bit different, perhaps more powerful, perhaps less powerful, but we had a month of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, where everyone tried to be really spiritually vaccinated for the year, in absorbing a lot of power, a lot of joy, and a lot of prayer, and a lot of reconnection. And that inspiration is great. But as we leave the festival of the month of the holidays and we go into the year, the inspiration wears off, and every couple of days or every so often we need a booster. We need a spiritual booster to reignite that passion, to reignite that excitement, to reignite that enthusiasm. So let's not forget that. Make time to study something, make time to pray, make time to re-energize and to boost the inspiration to keep us spiritually growing, continuously taking the next step. Have a wonderful day and a Shabbat Shalom.